Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing What If Naruto Was a Tailed Beast Part 2. And I can definitely tell you guys, I think, like this even more as this got, I think, since I last looked, I think 32, 34 likes. So yeah, and also I just want to thank you guys for getting me up to 113 last time I checked subscribers. So thanks for that. And also, sorry guys for this being short, and there's probably having to be another part which will come out next Friday, which will just be a continuation of, which will be like part probably 3.1, which will just be Naruto, well, my continuous explanation of Naruto with, well, Naruto in this school life. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so of course in here we've got, well, I was generally saying besides from Naruto, who, well, he has well, his mum and dad. He's of course, well, Naruto is like the 11 tails, which is pretty much the 9 tails, and 2 tails, or Matatabi and Kurama, did it with one another and had the baby, and the baby, and now it's called Naruto. And Kushina, well, and Kushina adopted Naruto, and Kurama and Matatabi went into Kushina, but before they did, they put a like thing, a genjutsu or that over Naruto, so that he would be human. So of course, when it looks like he's transforming into like his true form, looks like, so similar to like how Kurama does through, like, you know, one all the way up to his 9 tails, which is every single part of the body. Like, you can see each individual process. That's pretty much what Naruto's transformation looks like. Besides from that, of course, Naruto does also have an adopted sister, because he's adopted, so which would be Kushina is actually the only child, which would be I think we called her Ruby. Yeah. But no, you know, a couple of days apart, I think they're like 12 days apart, so yeah. So about the school life would generally like be fine, besides from of course, well, of course, once they started, Kushina did tell Naruto and Ruby what Naruto was, and yeah, of course Naruto was surprised, which I explained, I think, a bit in the first part. And yeah, so Naruto was definitely surprised, but yeah, and he was upset that they hid it away from him, but it did also kind of make sense that they'd hide it. And but does he tell anyone? Well, he will once we say his team. Yes, which could be in the next part, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like school life would be fine. Like, of course, they would. Well, no, they would definitely. Well, yeah, they would know who Naruto is, the son of Kushina, and Ruby, the daughter of Kushina. Yeah, they would be like famous, but of course, like Naruto's famous for the kind of wrong reason, which the village will eventually know. That's what I could say for now. Is the village will eventually know, and yeah, otherwise, I'd probably say Kiba. Kiba's definitely probably going to be the main one that's going to, try and rival Naruto, even though not only he can, besides from probably his dad and even, Kuma would still, push Kuma to his absolute limit, and even then, Naruto could probably even pull out a win. So, yeah. And I'm not saying that Naruto's current age, as Naruto ages up, he would get a lot stronger. Up until, I think, say he's around his 20s. Well, once he hits 20 years old, that's when his power will stop. Well, not stop growing, it will just stop growing with age. So then the older he gets, doesn't mean the stronger he'll get. He then needs to work on it. But otherwise, of course, because he knows his tail beast, this guy enormous amount of chakra reserves. Yeah. Plus, well, what do you think he would be? Would he be a fox? Would it be a cat? Or would it be a mix between two, having, because I said no, because, he'll probably have, wind and, two different fire. So, his, fireball jutsu, one will be, there'll be three different. One would be standard, one would be Kuruma's flame, and then one would be Matatabi's flame, or blue flame. But of course, it's his flame, which is just, he can split up into three different ones, so, and he knows not to really, use a blue flame or that, because people may then think he's got Matatabi sealed inside of him. So he keeps that secret for now. And yeah, he's Sasuke. I think Sasuke would see Naruto as a friend, because Kushina is that, so they would probably see each other and hang out a bit when they were younger, but otherwise, and maybe even train a bit. But of course, everyone could see that Naruto was just a lot better than anyone else. Mind you, of course, they expect it because he's a prodigy, and he's Kushina's kid. What to expect from Kushina's kid. It'd have to, he'd have to be the best. And also, in his human form, he won't be able to make it a beast bomb. Only for them, for now he won't be able to, because it'd just be a bit overpowered when he tries, trying to make a Rasengan and instead makes a Toad Beast Bomb. Well, he will be able to, yes, he will be able to in the far future, but for now, he won't be able to, because for one, he hasn't really been in his Toad Beast form, or his normal form, and yeah, even though, because it come to him, it will be instinctual to make one. Yeah. And yeah, you have a blue. You have actually another type of flame which is only his, which is how you've it'd be a say very rare. Well, mind you, I don't know what green flame is in real life, like how hot does green flame burn. But it'd be like, well, it's actually red and blue combined. Well, rather red and blue combined it'd be that with like a slight black, blue, well no, it's like blue and red in it. So it'd be like his own flame, which he also won't use because it's insanely also strong. So it'd be, well, he knows if he uses it, he's probably going to be like, like a lot of people are going to want him for either experiments over tomorrow or like try and kidnap or stuff like that. Of course, mind you, trying to kidnap Toby is probably going to be the hardest thing you can ever do. Yeah, and especially when that's like an unknown type of one. So, because as we go through, he will uncover abilities that he can do. Yeah, like his hearing, his smell is going to be all like insanely good. So, because his sensory ninja will be second to none. He'll definitely be, well, he'll be fast because cats are quite very good, or very good athletic, so, or agility, so he'll be able to move fast, jump high and that, but he again keeps that all kind of under wraps because he doesn't want to lift any suspicions that anything's going on. And of course, well, mind you, Ruby is really the only one. Ruby, of course, has red hair, and she also can use the chocolate. Well, she can't right now, but she's learning slowly how to actually bring them out and control them, because that'll probably be the only thing that she would be able to try and keep up, and even then that's not really going to help her. Yeah. And yeah, I'd probably say Naruto, who's Sakura, who's probably still always back in what's it called? I forgot his name now. No, I forgot his name. But Sakura would be back in Sasuke, and I'd probably see Ino probably trying to get close to Naruto, even though Naruto doesn't really have. Well, Naruto probably might have feelings. Maybe, who knows? He's unsure, but you can clearly see what she's doing, and he doesn't. He can find it, annoying and that. And he says he does tell Sakura that he's Sasuke's not going to recognize it. He's not going to care about it. He doesn't care about you, Sakura. The only time he will start caring about you is if you actually start getting stronger, you start showing promise. But of course, who actually Sasuke not likes, but he likes to spar with, besides Naruto, is Ruby, because mind you, Ruby's probably the strongest girl there, and which would make Sakura jealous. But Ruby doesn't really have a thing for a thing for the thing for him. She really only sees him as like a sparring partner, like friend at most. Otherwise, just like a sparring partner who's okay to spar with, but she knows if she can unlock her chakra chain, she could probably defeat him. And of course, her main goal is to try and catch up to her brother, which she knows now it's probably going to be ridiculously hard, but there is a chance that it could happen. And like Kurama and that just like laughing, she says that well, it doesn't matter if you're a tail beast or not, I'll still catch up to you one day, Naruto, my brother, half brother. And which like Kuma would probably chuck up and go, well, it's possible if you train hard enough, kid. If you train hard enough, it's possible, but if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get anywhere. Like, I think that girl you mentioned quite often, Sakura, is it? It's like, yes, Kuma. Yeah, like her, she's doing no work whatsoever. She's not going to get anywhere. The best thing she can be is a literally walking target for anyone. And she's like, I guess so. She's not that good, or she's not really good at all. The best thing she can do is just be annoying. So I think they would give up on trying to fight her because she'd just be there annoying. Also call for Sasuke, and Sasuke really would only come running because a fight. That's really all he likes, is fighting and training alone because of what happened. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, they could have, mind you, I don't really like the Uchiha because of that eyes, but they, could have solved it by working, with the Hokage to, come into the village and not be such an outcast. But because they were pushed to, being outcasts, they were forced to do it more or less. Like, it was really their last resort, you could say. Yeah. And of course, yeah. And well, I guess that's what happened. They got wiped out by Sasuke's older brother, which luckily enough doesn't know who. Well, he knows that I'm probably sealed within, your mum, Kusuna, but he doesn't know that Naruto's a tail beast, and because of that, Naruto is the only one, more or less, in this world that can take on the 10 tails and succeed in defeating it. And you think father is like, I know so. Like when he's nearly born, you took a chunk out of the ground. I can say that. And also you cried once and you started to beast bomb at me. My girl managed to dodge it. But a little tiny beast bomb destroyed half a mountain. So yes, you're pretty strong, mate. You're pretty strong. And yeah. So also, how do I transform? So it's like, well, maybe we'll get into that later on when you pass the Ninja Academy and you actually become a Genin, I think it's called. When you become one of those. So then you can actually, start helping out your adopted mother, and actually, get money and pay for being allowed to live here. This is like, don't say stuff like that. I'm fine with it. He doesn't have to. But yeah, it's up to him. And they go, well, will I ever return to being, just a normal toad beast, or will I forever be stuck like this? It's like, well, nowadays you probably will be stuck like this. Or why, man? I can kind of understand why you'd have to do it, because of nobody knew besides from the fact I can't get like a toad beast, but besides from that, nobody else knows. And why? He knows the question why it's just hard to accept. And yeah. So yeah. It's like, cause, he'd probably, have a fan base just as bad as Sasuke would, and they would probably ditch class so often, which, yeah, wouldn't oppress Kushina, but then again, Kushina knows that, until they, start getting really serious about, teaching them anything important, they are gonna just skip class because it's boring. And besides all that, well, I'll probably see you next week for the next live. So, anyways, I'm gonna end it here. So, if you have enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this so much and you want to see more, just like this, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, so for the incredibly short while, if I was actually planning on recording this a lot earlier on, but instead I have to record it right now because it's quite late and I have to also upload this. So yes, no entertainment to this one. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.